Hello, welcome back. This is Jeff Byers and this is Andy 255 and this is Module 11. We're going to create a dress with end cloth. Alright, so let's get right to it. Basically in Module 11 we're going to continue using end cloth and learn how to add end cloth to objects, add fields and collisions. We're going to nix the fields. We're not really going to mess with that too much. And we're going to control the end cloth by changing the attributes. Make sure you watch all the lectures and video tutorials. Don't try to go on your own with this. I would watch the videos very carefully. The student will learn how to model a dress using the extract faces method, remodel the front, relax the mesh using the sculpting tools available in Maya. Now, if you go on your own and you extract the faces any way you want, or you create something, you're going to get a different simulation than mine. And I can't guarantee that if you don't use this method and follow me exactly, if it's going to work at all. Okay, so just keep that in mind. End cloth is very finicky. Okay, so if you follow my videos exactly, you'll get a simulation very, very close to mine. Alright, so I also use sculpting tools available in Maya because I don't think some of you guys don't have ZBrush yet. If you don't, you need to get it. ZBrush is absolutely the best thing as far as sculpting goes. Maya has some good sculpting tools, in its own right, but it's nothing like what ZBrush can do. But anyway, that's not here nor there. I've used the sculpting tools in Maya, so you should be able to use those just fine. Okay, you're going to UV map and texture the dress for me. I show you how to do that, so don't worry, I don't leave you on your own, so you get to see. It's pretty easy. The student will learn how to use the Quick Rig tool in Maya. Now the reason why we do that is because I want you guys to be able to move the object around, lift the knee up, move it side to side, and to see if the dress, we're going to test the dress that way. And then for extra credit, you guys can do a walk cycle with the dress on. The dress has to stay on. You're going to have to have the character in a T pose so the cloth can relax. Now you're going to set the rest length on the initial state of the dress, the end cloth, on frame 1, and I'll show you how to do all that. So anyway, with that, you're going to create a simulation and test the simulation with the character movement. We just talked about that. You can just give me an MB file of the character simulation animation test that you did and create and save a compressed playblast AVI movie file for me. Okay, and I do want a screenshot of the end cloth dress simulation covering the mannequin character. I need to have that in case something happens to your playblast movie file and for some crazy reason both of those fail, the MB file, at least to have a screenshot. You have to give me the MB file, you have to give me the playblast movie, and you have to give me the screenshot to get full credit. Okay? Objectives, you guys can read all that, and this is just a review in case you guys get lost. It's just a review of what we went over already with the property reviews of the end cloth. So just click on any of these if you need kind of a refresher course on what the properties are and some of the things you can do with end cloth if you've forgotten from the last module. And then the course assignment is the student will model a dress using the extract faces method. Okay, this is the dress we're going to model, number D. Okay, alright, so with that said, you're going to extract it. You're going to use some different sculpting tools to get the dress away from the body. It cannot be in contact with the body whatsoever, but then again, you don't want it too far away from the body and cause some other problems. You don't want it sliding off, so you don't want it too large either. You're going to UV map and texture the dress. You're going to go ahead and do a quick rig in Maya, and then you're going to go ahead and do a cloth simulation test with it. Give me an MB file, and this sounds the same as the overview, and it basically is, because I don't want to confuse you guys. I want to add anything that I haven't talked about in the overview. So you're gonna give me a screenshot and a play blast. Pretty straightforward. I have some textures. Of course, you can find your own. You need seamless textures though, and there's a couple in there. There's some other things you have to clean up. I think I got some seamless textures, but they've got like a black bar. Just bring it into Photoshop and take that black bar off. Other than that, please watch every one of these videos from setting up your scene. It's very, very important that you do these exactly. I cannot guarantee you the same solution and the dynamic simulation will work at all if you don't follow these, if you go on your own totally. Because like I said earlier, end cloth is very finicky, so make sure. And the reason why I have these videos that you guys can stay on track, okay? And so with all that done and you get the simulation to work, you're good to go. And a grading rubric, you can look at this. It's the same exact thing. If you do the UV map and texturing, if you don't, there's 4 points off of that right off the top. That's a grade point basically from A to B. And then you know, make sure you model the dress properly like I showed you, and then add the quick rig and the simulation and the MB file and the screenshot and the play blast all play in to the 40 points. And then again, we talk about deliverables. Make sure you turn in the dress simulation, the MB file. I don't want just the mannequin and the dress. I want the simulation scene, okay, the one you simulated with. And then the screenshot of the simulation with the dress has been simulated, and it's basically set in place at frame 1. And then the initial state, I should say. And then you save the compressed movie, play blast XVID or H.264. Some of you have had some problems with XVID. You shouldn't have any issues unless you're using a Mac. I don't think that'll work at all. So that's why I put H.264. Now, you can create a play blast movie non-compressed, but you have to bring it in to Premiere Pro and then you know, just kind of export it out as an H.264 or an XVID. Okay. If you can't see XVID, you have to download it. So you have to just type in XVID on the search bar, search engine, and you should be able to find it right away. Okay. Folder structure, the same as we always been doing. This is module 11, the scenes, images, and play blasts. Okay, in the scenes, you're going to put the MB file in there of the simulated dress scene, and then a screenshot of the dress initial set where it is dropped down at frame 1, and then the play blast you'll put in there. And the extra credit is optional. It's always optional. Okay, so you'll create a progressive walk cycle of the character moving forward a couple steps. So basically the right foot and then the left foot. So you can just do, if you want to do more, then that's great. You know, you have to have at least it walking, you know, what I call one cycle, right? So, and progressive walk means it's moving forward. Okay, it's not moving in place, right? Progressive walk cycle is that just like a real human being, when you move your foot forward, your character's moving forward. Okay. So that'll help. That's all I need to know that the simulation will work. And it should stay on just fine, you know. If not, think about using constraints, like we did with on the shoulders, like we did with the curtains and stuff like that. All right, so just basically T-pose first, and then start the walks frame. I would let it go in the T-pose for at least 30 frames before you do anything with the walk cycle. Alright, and if you have problems, if you've forgotten how to do walk cycle, if you haven't taken any 245 character animation, then you might want to check out some tutorials on creating a walk cycle. And then go ahead and place the play blast animation compressed at H.264 and XVID into the extra credit folder, and have fun with it. Okay? Alright, this would be fun. It shouldn't be as time consuming as the rigid bodies mousetrap. So hopefully you guys can get this done in a couple hours. There's really no modeling except for the dress, and it's not that hard. The way I show you is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So I'm thinking about 2 hours for this, depending on how skilled you are. Okay? Alright, so you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next week in Module 12, where we're going to look at hair. Alright, I'll see you then.